Great. Hi, and good morning, Marie. How are you? I'm going to put in the chat a workbook that I put together for you guys. If you would like to open that, and so that we can have it for later as well. There's a few people joining in. I'm so sorry. Good morning, Carl. Great. For those of you just joining, I just put in the chat a workbook for you guys. Good morning, Dawn. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. My name is Sarah Harvey, and I am a platinum leader with Team Powerhouse. Today's training is called How to Sound Confident on Client Calls. I'm really excited about this training because confidence is one of the biggest things I hear agents struggle with. Whether you've been here a couple days or weeks or months, confidence is difficult with some people. But some things that I hear at times is I don't know what to say. What if they ask me something I don't know? I get nervous talking about budget is another really big one. I feel awkward trying to close the booking is another one. So if you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. When I started in December of 2023, I felt that exact way because I didn't come into the travel business having a background in travel. So that confidence, it did take some time. I wasn't an expert. I didn't have thousands of followers, anything like that. So when I learned that confidence isn't about knowing everything, is when it just really helped with speaking to clients. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's what you'll walk away with today. We'll go over how to sound professional, lead conversations that you should know, how to build trust faster, how to handle objections, and how to close more bookings. And I want everyone to understand this training is not about learning some magic sales scripts. You don't want to sound salesy when it comes to speaking with your clients. It's about becoming a trusted advisor. People don't book with you because you're pushy. People book because they actually trust you. So you want to make sure you build that trust with your clients. Everything we're discussing today is designed to build trust. All right, so this may some people. Confidence doesn't start when the phone rings. It starts before the call ever happens. So some things that you want to do is review the inquiry. So never jump into a call blind. That's why we always try to tell newer agents, you want to have a inquiry form or a questionnaire. You can, but there's so many different options you can use, but I personally use Jot form. I send that out before I have my first client call. So that way I can read over their inquiry. I review all the questions. I look at their messages if they did send any and know who you're speaking with before you answer. So have all of that ready before you don't want to jump on a call and have no idea what you're looking into. You always want to open your tools. So some things that I always have ready, the supplier websites. So if I know that they want to do a cruise, for instance, I'll have a few different supplier, or for instance, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, I'll have those pulled up ahead of time. I always have my notes ready, and you just want to bring that confidence with you. And the confidence does come with preparation. Write down everything. A lot of clients notice when you're paying attention. You don't want to go over certain questions and then go back and ask again because they'll know that you're either not paying attention or that you're not organized. Organization really helps. And people love feeling heard. So if you already have those questions written down in your notes, they love that. This may sound funny, but just smile first. It does work. Smile before you answer the phone. Your energy comes through your voice. They can, even though they don't see you, if you're just a regular phone call, if they don't see you, they could still tell you just want to be excited to talk to your clients. So when I first got started, I'd get really nervous every time the phone rang, but now I know I'm prepared and preparation creates that confidence. So this slide is probably one of my favorites. So many agents think they need to know everything, but honestly, you don't. Nobody does. So a confident advisor would say something like, that's a great question. Let me verify that information and make sure I give you the most accurate answer. And if it was a nervous advisor, you would say, like, I'm not sure, you know? So it's the same situation, but it is completely different knowledge. The difference in professionalism, clients don't expect perfection, they expect confidence. So stop sounding like a salesperson. This one really changed my entire business. So I used to post things like on my social media, I used to post things like best travel deals, cheap vacations, lower prices. But guess what happened? I attracted those bargain shoppers. What changed everything was when I started positioning myself as a travel advisor instead of a deal finder. I noticed a huge difference. So instead of saying something like, I have a great deal, say, let's find the vacation that works best for your family, something like that. Or instead of saying, this resort is on sale, say something like, based on what you've told me, the resort checks all of your boxes. One sounds like a sales, the other sounds like you're an experienced travel advisor. So that really does make a huge difference as a travel agent. I know, and especially in the beginning, you want to try to find those clients by the best deals and all, but it definitely does make a difference. So this right here is the framework I want every agent to write down to build rapport. So spend a few minutes connecting. Ask things like, where are you traveling from? Inspired this trip? Is this celebrating something special? People book from people they like. That's always a huge thing. So you want to try to build that relationship with your client. Discover their why. So most agents will ask, where do you want to go? Instead, ask something like, tell me about the trip you're hoping to take. Now that's talking about the experience instead of the destinations. And then you always want to qualify the budget. That is always huge. This is where newer agents get nervous. Talking about money is not rude. Talking about money saves everyone time. So if you're talking to a client and they're saying they want to go to St. Lucia on $1,000 budget, you know that's not going to work. So you have to have a budget. That was always my biggest fear in the beginning, is talking about the money part with my clients. But it will save you a ton of time, and it will save your clients time, and letting them know they have to go back and think of something that will work. You could say things like, what budget range are you hoping to stay within? Make it simple, professional, and confident. And then decision makers, this question alone can save you weeks of follow up. So ask, will anyone else be helping make the final decision on your trip? So that way, if they need to get the other person involved as well, you can have a call with both of them at the same time instead of going back and forth. And then set expectations. Always tell clients what happens next. People love clarity, and that helps with follow up as well. So they'll know what to expect next. All right. So words matter. Let's upgrade your language. So instead of saying maybe, say what I typically recommend is. Instead of I think, say based on my experience. Instead of I'm not sure, say let me confirm that for you. Instead of I guess, say something like recommendation would be. So those small changes instantly increase your authority, and they can help change your whole brand. It really does help. Everyone pick one phrase and type in the chat what you will stop using. I think, yes, Marie, actually, I still say that all the time, honestly. All right, I was just wondering. Okay. So handling common objections. The biggest mistake agents make, they get defensive. So objection one would be, I need to think about it. This is always a huge one. All of us go through it. All of us hear that. So your response could be, absolutely. What questions can I answer before you make your decision? So that helps that interaction with your client. Objection two, I found something cheaper online. Haven't we all heard that? And you could always respond with, I completely understand. Besides price, what's most important to you? So if they say the headache, for instance, okay, well, we're here to take away that headache. It drives me nuts that people come to us for help planning a vacation and they go and research prices online themselves, then, why use a travel agent? But I still don't get it. I guess it's because they think that we can find the best prices, so that's when it comes back to the questions I went over in the beginning. It just drives me crazy. But we all do hear this. I found it cheaper online. And then you can let them know that, well, you always want to compare apples to apples. So let me send you over the quotes that I can come up with. And we have payment plan options. We're able to get your transportation to and from the hotel, anything like that. That stuff adds up as well. Another one is we're not ready to book. So your response can be no problem. What time frame are you thinking? Or when do you think you'll be ready for making a decision? So notice none of these responses are pushy. They're just curious. So they help create that curiosity. Right. So sound like an expert. Experts don't immediately answer. Experts ask questions. So when a client says, where should we stay? Don't immediately recommend a resort. Always go back and ask who's traveling, what is their budget, the travel style that they would like, any must have amenities, things like that. Once you've gathered that information, then recommend different resorts that you would suggest. So experts guide, experts ask, and they listen. That really does help change your call as well. Always end with a next step. This one will increase your bookings immediately. Never say, okay, let me know. Instead, say something like, I'll put together the best options based on everything we've discussed and have those over to you by tomorrow evening. Once you've reviewed them, we'll reconnect and narrow down your favorite. That helps with a follow up and instead of just ending it at your call. Always make sure to end with a follow up. One creates momentum and one kills that momentum. You always want to make sure to leave the call with excitement as well. That's a huge one because you want to keep them excited and keep them ready to book. If you do feel like you need more time to gather, if it's more of a in-depth quote that you need to get more time with or anything like that, just let them know I'll have it ready in 24 to 48 hours, something like that. Just so that way they know when to expect to hear back from you. And then your confidence challenge. So here's your challenge for your next 5 client calls. Ask more than you answer. Always try to ask more than you answer. That helps with everything as far as keeping your clients excited about it, not having them ask you too many questions. You just always want to ask more than you answer. Use confident language. Discuss budget early. Always get the budget. Set expectations and end with a next step. So close every call with a specific actionable follow up. If you do these 5 things consistently, your confidence will skyrocket and you won't even realize it. If you know what to say to your clients, everything will change your calls. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with one final thought. You don't need to know everything to be successful in this business. You simply need to care, to ask great questions, to lead the conversation, continue growing, and believe in your value. It definitely will help change your business. The most successful travel advisors aren't the ones who know the most, they're the ones who build the most trust with their clients. And that also helps with those referrals. Trust is the main thing, honestly, because that's when they will give you good reviews. That's when they will give you referrals to let people they know that they can trust you. So when I started this business, I had no travel background, no following, and no clue what I was doing, honestly. But what changed everything wasn't become an expert overnight. It does take time. In the beginning, I know a lot of newer agents will get upset if they don't have a booking within the first few days, but that is normal. It's nothing that you're doing wrong, I promise. It does take a little time. It was learning how to communicate confidently and serve people well. And every single person on this call can do the same thing. I never expected I would be where I am today, and little things like this really can change your business. So let's open up for questions. I know a few people just joined in as well. It wasn't a very long training, so I did record though, but I will post in the chat again a little workbook for you guys, just so you can have a little help with your next client calls. I do also recommend always having your questionnaire set up. That is very important. I know a lot of you guys are new, so if you don't have your client qualifying questions set up, please send me a message. I don't mind sharing mine with you to give you a template to go off of. I also have a few templates for client calls that you can have all the questions ready before your calls. If you would like, I can share that as well. But yes, the questionnaire is very, very crucial. Dawn, I absolutely agree because that could change everything. So you don't just want the basic questions. You just want to make sure you have all the right questions. It does make a huge difference. So if you found this training valuable, I'd love for you to post your biggest takeaway in our team chat. And if you have any questions, yes, please, Hazel. I'm so sorry. I just seen your hand was raised. You can unmute if you would like.
Oh, it's okay. Hi, Sarah. Good morning. Good
Hi,
morning,
how are you?
everyone. Good, thank you. Thank you for the time that you are helping us with this, Sarah. I needed this. The question that I have is, as you have mentioned, they told me I found something cheaper online.
We hear that all the time. And my biggest thing there is when a client says that to me, this is honest truth. The prices that they're finding online is not going to be the final price. What it is they'll show cruise for, if you search for it, it'll say like $100 for a 7 night cruise, even, you know what I mean? But that's not what it is. That is for the lowest cabin. That's for the basic, nothing at all included. Once all of those other little things get to the end and you have to add all those little things no matter what, it's going to be a huge difference. Another thing is if it is the final, for instance, like if it's a resort and if you get the screenshots from your clients of the very final pricing and the same exact room, the same exact, if there's transfers included, anything like that. And a lot of the suppliers do price, oh gosh, what's it called? Oh my goodness. They go by the price. So like for instance, Vax, if you take the final price of them, they will do the price adjustment.
Like they can adjust it to what my client
Yep,
found.
yep. But it has to be the very final paint because most times, honestly, price compare. They do price compare. Most of the time, though, when they get to the end, that's when all those fees are going to be added, all the taxes and fees, all the other little things. And sometimes they will find it for a few dollars cheaper. But if it's a big difference, it's because they didn't get to the final payment screen.
This particular one is the Hard Rock all inclusive in Punta Cana for two people.
And what did they come up with?
And then they came up with, hold on a minute. I cannot remember very well because I have it
Oh,
in
you're
my,
okay, that's fine then. So
yeah.
I would go back to your client and just say, hey, I'm trying to get the price adjusted for you to fit the price that you came up with. Can you send me a screenshot of the final price and take that? And I would definitely take it to Vax and they'll price adjust it for you. But you just want to make sure, or even get on a Zoom call with them and look at and see where they're finding this at. And you can always price compare.
So I did that, and it is the same price as them. I asked him to send me the screenshot so that I have all the room,
Oh, so
specific
it's about the
room.
same price?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that does happen. Sometimes we're not able to find a whole lot cheaper, but that's when you want to show that you're confident in your experience, so that's when I would go back with them and say, well, if anything were to happen, I'm here for you. I'm here for you before, during, and after your trip. Anything can happen during your trip, and I'm here to be there for you.
Though they did not book with me, I sent them the information and also I talked to him. I said, hey, or I think I left him a voice message. I said, I found the same pricing, but I said, but I am here as your personal travel advisor. Would happen, I'm here for you. I will
Yeah.
be the one calling the suppliers, not you on the phone. And then he said, let me check with my wife and get back with you. And then
Yeah.
he did not get back with me. And I checked one more time. I said, hey, did you have the chance to talk with your wife? And then never heard from
And
them.
don't let that discourage you. I promise you, it happens to all of us far too many times, to be honest with you. So please don't let that discourage you. My first few bookings that happened, oh my gosh, my very first one, I cried because I put so much time and energy into that booking, and it was a huge party, and they went behind me and went directly to the supplier. So it was with Apple Vacations, and I didn't know that they can book with Apple, and I sent them the quote directly from Vax. I didn't know,
So,
creating myself.
right?
Yep. I was
Oh
so
gosh.
upset. And I spent so much time and effort into that, and it was my very first booking. And so don't let that discourage you. It was a learning experience, And with that though, I do recommend what I personally started doing, because I was getting that all the time. I was doing all this research and wasting so much time. So I started charging a upfront fee, a service fee, but then I took that fee and put it towards their booking. So I let them know on my first call, look, I do charge whatever, if it's two people, and I charge $100 fee, non-refundable, but I put that towards their final payment. So I save it in a separate account and I put it towards the final payment. So that way it is a non-refundable fee, and that helps you narrow down those clients that are not serious. And
How much do you usually charge for two people?
$100. Yeah,
100.
but
Did you?
I did start with 50, just because I was so scared to ask for that 50. Honest, I was just so scared to do it. But I noticed such a huge difference in the serious clients and the ones that are not serious, and that's just going to go behind my back and book it themselves anyway. But it helped narrow down those good out of maybe 1 out of 20 bookings or quotes, I'll get someone that ends up canceling or that doesn't go through with it. But it does help a lot, because they're not going to want to waste that money, and they're not going to pay it unless they're serious about booking with you. I personally, I mean, there's a lot of travel agents with us. For instance, Jody Worski, she's one of them that her fee she keeps for herself no matter what. That's her fee that she charges. So for me, I personally, I'm just too nice. I don't know what it is. I just cannot ask for that. That's why I just put it towards their booking, and that helps me a lot because they understand, and I just let them know. And I also have it on my questionnaire that it shows at the bottom. I do charge a upfront $100 non-refundable fee that will go towards your final payment. This is for my time for research, for supplier, things like that. So, I mean, I've never had anyone question it besides the ones that were not serious about booking themselves.
What about if they'll say, if I do it online, they will not charge me a fee? That's what I'm thinking they are thinking.
Because their fees are, and that's when you'll say the fees, you don't see the fees, but they are included in the bookings. And that's honestly the truth too. For instance, Expedia, if they go on Expedia.com, someone is still getting a commission from those bookings, no matter what. That's how they get paid. So that's what I always tell them, or I say, okay, go ahead. Thanks for
So
coming to me.
go ahead and do the best thing for you. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, your experience, and you just want to try to say it how you feel confident. And honestly, once you do it the first or second time, you'll feel a lot better. I promise. Because I was a nervous wreck asking that in the beginning, honestly. But that really does help narrow out those serious and non-serious clients. Because
yeah.
we all have been there. I promise, we all have. I mean, you just always want to compare apples to apples too. But like you said about now, that a lot of suppliers do price match, so you can go back and just let them know, send me some screenshots and I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
And that's when you can reach out to one, most of the time, Vax, because they're amazing with doing the price match for you. And then
What
also let them know, the transfers come with this, everything's included, because a lot of times they'll show up at a resort and not realize that they're going to have fees at that resort. Hard Rock is one of them. So they probably don't even know that when they get there, they're going
mm,
to have a fee.
but
You know,
if they buy it from me, they would still have the fee. You know
well,
what I
no,
mean?
no, no. Most of the time, the fees are included. Sometimes, like with Expedia Tap, there will be a smaller fee. It's usually like a smaller, it's a $30, $40 fee usually, and that's just what the hotel charges. But when they go do it themselves, instead of $30 or $40, it's going to be 100, 150.
So what I do now, I already let him know, and then he said he'll check with the wife. I did not hear anything, and then I got a hold of him again, and now I did not hear anything from him again. It's been
So
a
I
week
would reach
already.
back out one more time and just say, circling back around, just to make sure you didn't need my help or anything. Because you never know too, sometimes things happen, so maybe he just hasn't had the chance to get back to you. So I definitely wouldn't give up. Just reach out one more time, just say, this is the last time I'll reach out. I just wanted to make sure that you no longer needed my help, so that way I know to move forward. Something like
Okay.
that, because you never know, they may just been trying to find better price. But let
Yeah.
them know that you can, in that message, also include that I can get that price match for you as well, plus be here as your travel agent as well.
But I bet you the airfare now is changed. It's
Just
number now.
constantly.
So it's a gamble. But what about if they get there? This scenario is because he knows how to get a hold of me. When they get there, to begin with, he did not buy the package from me. And then they get there, they get problems. And he will
Oh,
call
you're
you.
not going to be there for them. You're not going to be there for them.
So if he will call me, what do I say?
You say, I'm sorry, but you did not book with me, so there's nothing I can do.
I don't have an access of your
Yeah,
package.
yeah,
Have an
and that's the
access.
truth.
I don't have an access.
And that's another thing. I've had that happen many times too. For instance, I had a couple that went on a honeymoon and they arrived at the location. Their room was canceled through hotels.com.
Mm.
And they arrived and they called me in a frantic. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have no, this is why you should have used me, honestly. I mean, I didn't say that to them, but that's what I wanted to say. And they had to go to a little cheap hotel or motel because they couldn't get their booking. Guess what? The next time they booked, they came to me.
Okay. So it's
Because
okay
yeah,
to
because
say
little
I
things like
cannot
that can
help you.
happen.
It's okay to
So,
say I cannot help you if they did not
yes,
buy from
yeah,
me.
and just say I have
Oh,
no access to your booking. Answer, yep.
okay, okay.
Then they'll understand what they missed out on because you would have been there for them. I mean, even when it comes to like if the flight is going to be delayed and things like that, we can help them with. For instance, even like a hotel stay, like if their flight is delayed 12 hours, anything could happen and they missed out on you being able to help them with that. So it's just a lot that we can help. And that's why a lot of people do use travel agents because of that. Never know, anything can happen.
Yes.
Great question. I appreciate that. But
Thank
that's
you,
always been
Sarah.
good for all of us, honestly. But the thing that changed that for me, like I said, was charging the upfront service and booking fee. If you would like to, I can send you mine to show you what mine looks like, just so that way you can see how I present it to them.
Yes, please. Yes, please. And then
Sure.
also that little questionnaire, please, if you don't mind
Yeah,
me doing that.
sure. Yep, I'll post it in the chat and I'll also send it to you too, okay?
Okay, you
Sarah,
have
can we
my
all get
messenger,
that?
right?
Yep, yep,
Okay. Thank you.
yes. Thank
Sarah,
you.
can we all get that? And can we also get a copy of today's recording? Because I missed a little bit.
Of course, Pamela. Yeah, you want me to go ahead and post it in the chat? I just didn't want to take up time, but if you guys don't mind, I'll pull it up for you guys.
Okay, no, we don't mind.
All right, okay. So let
I
me
speak
get
for
it for
everyone.
you. All right, let me pull it up for you. I'm happy you guys liked it. Let me, while that's loading, let me get back here and pull this up for you. This is one that I use. This is the client qualifier questionnaire for during your calls. This is all the information I get during the call. I can share that with you guys.
Sarah, do you have the questionnaire that they will fill up?
Yep,
Please also.
yes, ma'am.
Thank
And you can use, if you don't use Jotform, that's fine. You can even put the same questions onto a Google Doc if you use that, whichever one you do use. All right, it's trying to get logged in. I love Jotform though because it is neat. Because in Jotform you can actually, what I love about it is you can add your payment into your form. So I'll show you what I mean real quick. So like if you decide to start charging an upfront service fee, you can collect the fee during the questionnaire. I really like that. And you can connect your account to it.
You know, I'm using
Ooh.
JotForm right now, Sarah, but I am just curious about yours.
Yeah, yeah, of course. That's what I love about it too. You can always go back and change it up, and it's awesome.
But I would like to learn about how do we charge to begin with.
So I'm gonna get that. It's still loading. I'm so sorry. So let me let that load. And then here's another one that I'll share with you guys, just so that way you can have it. Where's that one? Here we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Mary.
Hey, I'm so sorry to chip in. I just wanted to say it looks like there's a lot of newbies on this call, and I am not a newbie at Sarah knows, but I just wanted to say that one of the hardest things that I had to learn, or one of the light bulbs that went off shortly after I started, was that clients and customers are not a finite resource. You don't have to work with everybody. And in fact, if you think somebody else would be compatible with somebody that you know, like if they have a similar temperament, if they are specialized in something, don't be afraid to send that to somebody else. Because you
Yeah.
don't have to take every customer.
That's true too. Yep, that is so true. Especially if you don't have that confidence and you're not sure if someone else specializes in it. Yeah, absolutely.
I know that sounds scary because you're new and you may not have a lot of clients now in the running because that way you don't have to work with people who might be difficult for you, but you also get, it teaches you to learn who's good for you and who's not.
Yep, yep. I agree. Absolutely. So here, I'll put this in the chat too, but here's just all my basic questions that I ask before my client call. So this is just to get like a heads up of what they're looking to book. So this is that. And then here at the bottom is where I add my service fee. Where are we at? Right here. So professional service fee applied to final payment. And make sure I put that because I don't want them to think that I'm just taking a fee for myself. So that's why I put apply to final payment. And then it has the agreement. So by submitting this form, I acknowledge and agree to the following terms. Professional service fee. I understand this is my $50 one. $50 non-refundable fee was required to begin the travel planning process. This fee will be collected and added toward my final payment of booking. And then it goes into if it is a group booking, it will adjust depending on what's all involved. And then right here, see, I have my Cash App and I have they can pay by credit card or Cash App. And it goes directly to my account. So this really does help so much. I'm going to put this in here for you.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. That's what I love about job forms. You can change any of your forms. You can change up, and you may change it a million times before you finally like the one that you want to use. So I love getting different. In the beginning, I always used to love getting different options and to help to see exactly how I wanted it. So I love sharing it to help you guys. So please use it if you would like. Or make sure you add the questions on your own because I don't want to get your inquiries though, but so I hope this helped. Does anyone else have some questions? And did you guys get did those other links work as well for the questionnaires? You are so well. Thank you.
Yeah, they all look, they're good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I will post the recording for those of you that have gotten here a little late, just so that way you can see the whole thing. And if you do need any help or anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help with anything y'all need. Yes, Hazel, I tried to do Mondays up until summer break is coming for the kids, so it may change a little, but I was doing every Monday and Thursday for my trainings, but it may be a little different while on summer break.
Is understood.
Yeah, because I have 4 younger kids and then one that's grown, but 4 young ones, and I'm like, how am I going to do this during summer? So it may have to be later in the day. Yeah, they're
Understood.
little.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again so much for joining me, and I will see you all soon. Everyone have a good day, okay? Did anyone else have any other questions or anything? Just to make sure.
I'm okay.
All right.
I'm the one with a lot of questions today.
Well, I'm glad. I love when you guys ask questions because that means the training made you start thinking.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And
And
I
you
hope to join every training you have. Did you say you have also on Thursdays?
yes, I try to do Mondays and Thursdays is when I usually have my training set up.
What time on Thursdays?
It's usually the same. During the summer breakdown, I'm not sure yet, but I will post in the chat what times I'm going to end up doing. I need to
Okay.
figure it out.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you are so
Sarah,
welcome.
while
Miss
I have
Ann.
you, can I ask you a little question off the record from the training? I posted in Indeed, and I just got so many offers for people interested in the travels. And I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous because this is my first time. So I don't know. Am I going to get charged for all these people that responded?
Oh, no, it's a lot, huh? So awesome. That's exciting. So you're talking about the team building side, right?
Team building, yeah.
Yeah. So with that, did you set up a Calendly?
I did. I already have that set up, and I spoke
Okay,
with.
perfect. So what I would do is go to ChatGPT, or I can even send you what I send to everyone. But when I get them, I send my Calendly link and I just let them know, hey, thank you for your interest. Here is a link to schedule an informational meeting. We would love for you to attend, something like that. And ChatGPT can put it together amazing for you. And just let it know that you're inviting
I
applicants.
have that all set together, but when I was texting to Deirdre today, she said something about exporting, and I don't know how to export
To
everything from.
export all of them.
Do
Okay.
how to export them from Indeed. Do you know?
Are they applying or are they sending you messages?
They're that it has their resume and everything.
Okay,
It's
so they are applying. Okay, good.
Yeah, they're applying.
So you should be able to go to on your dashboard. My Indeed is closed right now, but so I
Mhm.
would show you, but on the dashboard where all the applicants are listed, it
Uh-huh.
should have a menu part where you click on the menu and it says export candidates, and that's what you would export.
Okay, on the menu,
Yep.
look for export candidates. Okay, I'll check that out. I have
And
it
if
open, but
not,
I don't
send me
want
a
to
message.
hold.
And if not, send me a message and I can try to find
Yeah,
exactly how to do it for you.
because you're on Team Powerhouse,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited for you.
I know, I'm excited too. This.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for joining. And Alyssa, yes, I post the recording in the team chats, and I usually will post them on the team Facebook page as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And you guys have a
Of course, thank you guys so much, and everybody have a good day.
Thank you, you as well.
Thank you.